especially in tongue. No one couldn't walk alone. Tongue was like a battle zone.
Welcome back to the Now Morning Show. We're giving you some Christmas tips this morning with the TTPS. We have Inspector Michelle Lewis joining us on set. Good morning, Inspector.
Good morning to the both of you all, and compliments of the season to the both of you.
Right back at you.
Christmas is just about 8 days away,
Mm-hmm.
and persons are shopping.
Oh, yes.
Persons are trying to make night into day and day into night.
Oh, yes.
Burning the candle.
And sometimes we can be very careless in so doing.
How can we be more careful?
The TTPS wants you to be more careful, as you said. And one of the things that we have noticed over this last couple of days is that there has been an increase in road traffic accidents.
Oh, yes.
And that sometimes we tend to think it's just alcohol, but it's not only alcohol. It could be tiredness as well. It could be carelessness on the road. Sometimes you have bags in your vehicle and it move and the distraction. You may be on your cell phone and that kind of thing. So as you are shopping and moving around for this Christmas in the busy period, ensure that you get sufficient rest to be able to do all that you have to do. Because you are a driver, not for yourself only, but for other drivers on the road. And road safety is one of the priorities of the TTPS, and for yourself as well. Because your family wants you back home safely. We want you to see Christmas Day, and we want you to see the New Year. So to be safe, ensure that you get sufficient rest. Utilizing your cell phone while driving is still an offense. You can prevent...
This is still an offense.
Still an offense. Yeah, people tend to think that, well, it's Christmas, so, there's a blight. It is still an offense.
Okay.
Right? And so don't use your phone if you don't have to. But if you do, there's the handset, the Bluetooth that you utilize. But sometimes when you're on your phone, you could get so caught up in a conversation that it can really
distract you.
Correct, your attention from driving. Right? Also, do not wear heavy jewelry and flashy items when going out and shopping. Even if you're in your vehicle and you're using jewelry, chain and that kind of thing, somebody in the traffic or someone else can take it off you, stop your vehicle, open the door, and you can find yourself being a victim of blasting of the person.
Inspector, I'm glad you mentioned traffic, and I just have to jump in here to contribute with the fact that we see so many people speeding on the roads, and one of them is because people need to be on time. Or they feel they need to be on time as much as possible. And this traffic, of course, takes no prisoners during the Christmas season. What recommendations do you have for that, and also for road rage, which is a real thing?
Okay, so say that again. Because
what recommendations do you have for people in the Christmas season when it comes to dealing with traffic and with road rage particularly? Because many times we do see coming out of these situations, people do get into altercations. So how does TTPS see a rise in that, and how is it treated with, and what tips would you have for the public?
Right, so as I started before, there is an increase, right? There will be an increase in traffic because of the fact that you have so many people wanting to do all these things at the same time because there's a deadline at which it opens the 25th of December, right?
24th is the deadline given.
Well, no, some people only took 24, they still shopping on the 25th.
Okay.
The 25th. I am guilty until they put it away. Right? I believe in the tradition that Christmas morning must smell the ham and the bread, and that's where I grew up. Yeah,
the curtains go on Christmas Eve night too, that's what you're saying. Yeah.
Right? So I wouldn't be on the road, but I'll be home, like half a killing myself trying to do all of that and make magic happen. Right? So there's this thing that everybody wants to do all of that. So you will get the traffic. To prevent the traffic, you can carpool.
Right.
You can also use public transport. There are some places that actually put things in place of public transport. So you can actually park your vehicle at a particular area. You can use the water taxi. But also when you're doing so, structure your shopping. Because if you're going to be shopping and you're shopping all day, you're going to have a lot of bags in your hand.
Yes.
And having a lot of bags in your hand means that you may be vulnerable. Someone can come, take the bag that has the valuable stuff in it, and go with it. And then, so when you are going shopping, ensure that you have a sturdy bag, a proper bag, instead of the little shopping bags that the handles can burst, that you can put your items in there safely and do it periodically. And of course, school is on vacation now. You can take your bigger children with you, ensure that they are, you let them know, what they can and cannot do, stay with you. If it is that they're in the mall, in like you in this store, keeping communication, have them have their cell phone. If it's the younger children, like the primary school ones, the younger ones, ensure that they have their name tag within their clothing. So that if something happens,
I just want to back up a little bit. You said just now you can periodically go and drop off stuff in the vehicle as you wish. But I believe it was just last week we got some advice saying that might be a bad idea because you never know who's looking at you making trips to the vehicle.
Yeah.
Who is... Okay, so...
Especially if you go to like malls or whatever the case is, you know, there are people around, right? Because like you say, everybody outside for Christmas, but you never know who is paying attention to you. So how do we manage those two in terms of not having all the bags, but also not wanting to have people mark you when you're going to and from the car? Let's say you have to make more than one or more than two trips, you know?
Right, so like one of the things that I do if I'm in the mall and I park, let's say, on the eastern side of the mall car park, and I go and do some shopping there, I will go into the vehicle, I'll put my bags into the vehicle, I will drive my vehicle and go to the other side of the mall.
You get park
Look at that, you get a park door.
You get two park in the mall?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, I do that.
Good.
So that, in other words, they're not going to see me go into the vehicle, drop bags, and go back. I will just go to the other side of the mall. Yeah.
Trade secrets, boy. Yeah. That is something.
Or you don't do all your shopping on one day in particular.
Right.
Or you take people with you.
Yeah.
And you let them carry the bags for you.
Huh?
You take people with you.
And
they can carry the bags.
No, you go with your girlfriends, you go with your family. And yeah, it's not
Only women can get away with that. You know who carrying all the bags?
No, but you know, family do help shopping. So like I mentioned before, you have your children, you carry them. Because they love the shopping, they love the atmosphere. Another thing that we want the members of the public to be aware of is also we want to inform the business owners as well that during this time you may be hiring some more persons to augment or increase your staff, right? So be particular, pay a particular attention of who are the persons that you're actually going to be allowing into your business place where you have cash and where you may cause yourself to be a victim of some kind of theft or something like that, or even extortion. So for example, you are hiring persons, you can, of course, we have mentioned it before, the TTPS, you can include the TTPS, the sergeant at the station, to just double check and see this, you know, who you're hiring, and that kind of thing.
You know, Inspector, as you mentioned, businesses particularly, this is also the season where we see shops open a lot later. Sometimes they go, like, for example, I think it's the weekend before Christmas, sometimes they go till maybe midnight and so much more. Any tips for people, business owners particularly as well, when it comes to protecting themselves at this point in time?
Yes, so in the first instance, do not deposit your cash or remove cash from your store at set times, and do so with a reliable security company, or you can engage a TTPS.
Okay.
That would be one of the first things we'd like to encourage you, because we don't want you to be an easy target. We don't want your sales and the profit that you have worked so hard to get for someone to thief it from you.
So that we could just request that from the TTPS, or that's a paid service?
So I would ask you to engage the station district to assist.
Okay.
Yeah, and the officers they would assist where they can.
That's quite interesting and quite handy.
I find you using interesting words there, Inspector. You're saying assist.
Because I don't want to make a broad statement, and then because they have businesses at different levels, and and so I don't want to.
So you call the station and they will tell you what your options are.
Yeah.
Now, one of the things we will also just touched on is with the younger ones having their name tag on them, or you know how you would have their name sewn into their shirt, that sort of thing.
Yeah, so have it on the inside so that the public wouldn't see it. So, but the child knows it's there.
The child knows it's there. So during the Christmas season, do you see an uptick in lost children by chance?
We more see it for Carnival.
Okay.
On the road.
Yeah. Sometimes in the mall, the child may get away from the parent, but that's seldom. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, chances of you finding them back in the mall are a lot easier than on the road.
You know what shop they're going to.
Chances are they're going by the
But still, even though we don't have that prevalence of it, we still want persons to continue doing what you're doing, pay attention to the children on the road. If it is that you see someone with a child and the child is a little way off, just shout out to the parent, let the child walk in a little further. And, you know, just to be, you know, each other's keeper to prevent anything from happening.
I saw this lady in the mall, I think it was last week. She had her child with, I guess, like attached to her. He had a wristband and it had like one of those coils and it was attached to her as well. So everywhere the child went, once he went too far, it would just automatically basically bring the child back closer. It's
Yeah,
quite
even if
interesting
the
to
child
see.
is going to the washroom as well, you can stand right outside there to make sure that you're there for the child.
That's how you treat a dog, not a child.
No, we haven't, not really. No, it's not
You
like
attach
that.
your child to a leash?
Different persons do different things.
Different things.
Yes.
I feel like
Also,
we
even
border
that-
on humanitarian crisis
No, no,
there.
no,
I don't
no,
know.
no,
I don't know. Keeping your child on a leash.
It's not a leash. It's not a leash.
It's not
And then
really.
also, there's the persons, of course, for your family and your home. So for Christmas, you have the power washers coming around, you have the workers coming around, you have the painters coming around, and you have all these persons coming around, you know, providing these services. And of course, you're going to bring them into your yard. You know, your windows are going to be open because all your curtains are down because they're doing a thorough clean for the Christmas. So they're seeing where your jewelry is, they're seeing where everything is, where you put your handbag and all that. So be very, very careful of who you allow into your yard, into your space, to see your family, to see, you know, how you lock your doors, where you put your key, and all those things. So be very, very particular this Christmas. We really want the members of the public to enjoy a safe Christmas, and in order to do that, you must be vigilant. You must pay attention to what is taking place, and you must be cautious. Don't let your guard down because the season is a merry one. We want you to be safe and have a good Christmas season.
Wise words, Inspector. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
You're most welcome.
Always a
Thanks for having
pleasure
us.
to have you. Thanks for the excellent Christmas tips, and hopefully we'll see you next week. Yeah?
Yes.
Inspector Michelle Lewis here with us this morning with our Every Monday segment with the TTPS. Stay tuned. Your birthdays are coming up after the break.
But nowadays and so I am all shocked to know